Okay, let's just jump right in. Have you ever had one of those days, or let's be real, maybe one of those weeks, where you are just running around nonstop, checking things off your list, but at the end of it all, you just feel kind of empty? Like you've been going 100 miles an hour, but you haven't actually gotten anywhere that really matters to you? Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about today. Let's start with this. Just let it sit there for a second. Busy is not the same as fulfilled. It's so simple, but wow, it hits hard, doesn't it? Because I think deep down, every single one of us knows this is true. And when you're caught in that whirlwind of busy, that feeling of emptiness eventually leads to this quiet, nagging question. You're looking at your calendar, at all the tasks, and this little voice inside just whispers, does any of this actually matter to me? To answer that question, we first have to understand the trap that so many of us fall into. We're going to call it the busy trap. It's the cycle of just constant, relentless motion that can somehow leave you feeling completely and utterly lost. I mean, think about it. Society has pretty much taught us that a packed schedule is a sign of importance, right? Saying, I've been so busy, has become this weird badge of honor. We wear our exhaustion like it's a crown, and then we wonder why we feel so hollow. In this quote right here, it's not just a nice phrase, it's like a mirror. It forces us to face a really tough truth. All that activity, all that running around means absolutely nothing if it's not fueled by that fire inside you, by your actual purpose. So this is the crucial part. We have to understand the difference between just moving and moving with purpose. Let's break down this central idea: motion versus meaning. This comparison just lays it out so clearly. You see, motion is just that, constant activity. It looks productive, and a lot of the time it's about serving what everybody else needs from you. But the result, it can feel like you're disappearing. On the flip side, you have meaning. That's aligned action. It feels fulfilling because it's tied to your values. It feels like you're finally, truly showing up for your own life. So how do you know if you're stuck in motion? Well, there are a few little signs we can look for. Think of this next part as a quick, totally honest check-in with yourself. No judgment here.
Okay, here's the very first sign that you might be a bit misaligned. If the idea of just being still, of doing nothing, makes you anxious, it's worth asking why. Sometimes we keep ourselves busy because we're afraid of what might come up in the quiet moments. We're afraid to face those tough questions.
All right, the second sign, this one might hit a little closer to home.
And I'm not talking about what you're good at or what pays the bills. This is about what genuinely, deep down, makes you feel alive. If you struggle to name it, it's probably because it's buried under a giant pile of obligations.
And then we have sign number 3, which, wow, this is a big one for so many people. We do this, right? We overcommit because we want approval or we're terrified of disappointing someone. But you have to remember, every single time you say yes to something that isn't really for you, you're saying no to something that is. Okay, number 4. This one is about that strange, empty feeling that can sometimes follow a big achievement.
There's a perfect analogy for this. It's like you've spent years getting really, really good at climbing a ladder, only to get to the top and realize you leaned it against the wrong building. The success is real, but the satisfaction just isn't there. And finally, our 5th sign asks you to look back for a second. Seriously, take a moment. Who were you before all the adulting and responsibilities piled up? Before you learned to make yourself smaller to fit into boxes other people made for you? If you've lost sight of that person, it's a huge sign you're living in motion, not meaning.
Okay, so what do we do about it? The answer is not to do more. It's not to hustle harder. It's about finding the courage to change your direction. It's about the courage to move right. And moving right doesn't mean being perfect. It's not this huge, overwhelming task. It simply means you start consciously choosing to build your life around your values, not your anxieties. It's all about letting intention and integrity guide you. This idea is just so powerful. It tells us that the size of the action isn't what matters most. It's the alignment behind it. One small, intentional step in the right direction is worth more than years of just running in circles. So, where do you even start? How do you begin to make the shift? Well, the whole entire process can be kickstarted by sitting with one single transformative question. Just let that sink in for a second. If you stripped away everything you do because you feel you have to, or you're afraid not to, or you just do it because you've always done it, what's left? Whatever is left, that's your starting point. That's the real stuff. And this is really what it all boils down to. This is the mantra to take with you. It's not about quitting. It's about finally, truly showing up for yourself. Move less, but move right. Move like your life depends on it. Because, well, it does.